Welcome to the Community Services Connection podcast, an informative podcast for those who live, work, and play in our paradise. We're covering everything from recreation and pools, libraries and history, parks and natural resources, and the UF-IFAS Extension Office of Charlotte County. I'm Brianna Benavenga, and this is the Community Services Connection podcast. We're back at Harold Avenue Regional Park Recreation Center talking about the Youth Volleyball Clinic. On this episode, we will be talking about how this program has prepared young athletes for their school and club volleyball teams, the latest 3-on-3 tournament, and we'll hear from a parent on how this program has positively impacted their child. We have Coach Paul and some of the players, so we're going to go around the room and just get a couple of introductions before we dive in.
Hi, my name is Miracle. I play basketball and volleyball. I've been playing for 2 years.
Hi, my name is Lizzie. I play volleyball and softball, and I've been playing for 2 years.
My name's Camilla, and I've only played volleyball since I was about 9 years old. It's been about 7 years.
Hi, my name's Coach Ari, and I play volleyball, and I run cross country and track. I've been doing volleyball for about 4 or 5 years, cross country a year, and track for 2.
Hi, I'm Tiana. I play volleyball. I've been playing for about 4 years now.
So here tonight, we're here to talk about the youth volleyball program, and you've all been participating for about how long with volleyball?
It's almost a year.
This entire program is about a year.
And we've been doing a lot. I know that you started tournaments. I saw there was a party. So Coach Paul, we'll dive into that. Paul, tell me a little bit about the 3-on-3 tournaments that you've been running.
Okay, so this is our second tournament, and this last one took place on January 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. We had another good turnout this time. We had a total of 20 teams and 63 players who took part in the tournament during these 3 days. Some of the highlights were that we had some new first-time participants, such as several players from the Flying Fish club team. And this was good because it gave our regular program participants an opportunity to gain some valuable competitive game experience in a 3-on-3 game. And it was especially good for our intermediate players who were able to form teams and play with more experienced players.
And it looked like you threw a really awesome party after.
Yeah, and I got to give the credit to Ariana and Tiana. They were actually the ones who put this together. This took place on February 4th on a Saturday from 6 to 8. We had about 20 kids of all ages in attendance. And like I said, the two volunteer coaches, they coordinated it with the participants. They came up with the theme and the activities. They brought the food and they purchased the prizes. So they did a lot for this program to succeed. I just wanted to explain that this party was the type where there were events taking place in the gym and the participants were able to earn tickets by winning different volleyball activities. And then the tickets went towards a raffle to win various prizes like stuffed animals and goodie buckets.
That sounds like so much fun. So if you're listening and you're not participating in the Youth Volleyball Clinic, I highly, highly recommend joining us. It is is it going to continue to be on Friday evenings?
It's still going to be Fridays and Saturdays, 6 to 8 p.m.
I saw some highlights come through. You recently released a newsletter. Tell me a little bit about that.
So this is kind of exciting because on March the 2nd, we made a digital newsletter, and this came from the idea that I was starting to make like a paper newsletter. And so, now this newsletter, you can actually see it online. It's a four-page online full-color flipping book with several photos and descriptions of activities and achievements that took place during the winter season of Youth Volleyball Clinic. So we've gotten it out to the public, or we will be very soon. We've emailed it to all our youth volleyball participants. We've made some paper copies and circulated it around the rec center. And pretty soon we'll be putting it up on Facebook so the entire community can get a look at it.
That's great. And hopefully this inspires some other recreation programs to do something similar so that parents and the community can see what we're offering here in Charlotte County.
Yeah, that's what the hope is just to kind of generate some interest and get the word out about the program.
Tell me more about the scrimmage with the Flying Fish club team.
Okay, so on March 3rd, they were able to come out here with a team of 11 girls. And it just, the way we got them here was I was able to reach out to the coach of the local club. And so the Flying Fish are a pretty strong club team, and they gave us an opportunity to get some of our older players and more experienced players a chance to play a competitive game against a strong team. It also got our intermediate players involved as well. And so, again, we're just trying to find competitive game experience for our participants.
If there's anybody listening who has a team and wants to compete, how do they get in touch with you?
If people are interested in trying to get a team to come over here and play some of our advanced players, they can reach out to Harold Avenue Regional Park, and our number is 941-627-1074.
Let's go back to the players. What school do you all go to, and what travel teams are you playing for, and for how long have you been playing volleyball?
So I played volleyball for about 2 years now, and I didn't make the Charlotte freshman team, but I helped with them, I practiced with them, and I made the Miracle team.
I've been playing volleyball for about 7 years now, and I made Port Charlotte High School JV team. And I think this program had definitely helped me not necessarily learn skills, but keep them alive and kind of keeping them in use and keeping myself occupied and ready for tryouts.
I made Shroud High School's freshman volleyball team. I did not make their JV team, but I have been playing club volleyball for about 4 years in California, but I am not currently on a club team now.
Yeah, same here. I played club ball in California for 4 years, came here, didn't make any teams.
Tell me a little bit about how this program has prepared you for your club teams and other teams.
It helps me basically keep my skills alive and kind of like learn more stuff as you're going on.
I think the program has helped me kind of like maintain my basics, the setting, the passing, the heads, just all of that, kind of like keep that, like Lizzie said, alive. And also kind of like maintaining myself in a competitive mode. I think sometimes when you do a club or you do it just for fun, the competitiveness of it kind of dies out a little bit. I think keeping that alive is also important in order for you to be a good player. I think that actually having, a coaches like Ariana and Tiana that kind of like are serious in a way that, like, this is for fun, but it also takes seriousness in order for you to get better, and it's definitely up to you to do that. And I think you can definitely see the different outcomes with the kids that come here, whether they take it serious or not. You can definitely see their progress or whatever they're lacking of or how they could better themselves. And I think that they're doing a great job at just kind of like meeting the kids halfway and getting down to their levels and teaching them where they need to go.
I'm going to add that when you come into a practice, it does seem like it's very not formal, but it is formal in a way that we do like the very traditional warm-ups and everything, but we do try and make sure that people are interacting with each other. I really do try and make sure everyone leaves with like a really good moral standing of that, like everyone has to work on a team at some point, whether it's in a sport or in a business or somewhere else. I feel like any type of teamwork and so it's just something they have to learn. So I do try just kind of not force it, but push them into it and learning how to work with each other outside is like, if they don't leave as good people, I kind of feel like I did something wrong. And that's really what I want them to do, is leave as good people.
I mean, I'd say that something we do to try to make sure they interact with each other more is we usually split up their friends and make them interact with more people so they're not just used to playing with their friends, used to adapting to other people and other people's skills.
Definitely, because you're not always going to get to play with your friends or be on the same team as your friends. You need to learn how to work with other personalities and other people.
Another thing I wanted to point out as well was that, of course, when it comes to a team, there are different personalities, and you'll definitely have to kind of like adapt to whoever you're playing with. And also that in order for you to be a good team, in order for you to get better as a team, you need to be able to have that connection with your teammates outside of the court.
Let's talk about what tryouts are like and what coaches at the next level are looking for.
As someone who's made teams, been cut from teams, had to try different sports, it always kind of depends on the coaches. I know in some cases where like coaches look for very, very specific details, or they kind of know what they already have in mind. So sometimes that kind of has a factor. But overall, I feel like coaches look, generally, or at least I look for, it's just if you have the heart for the sport. If you come into a tryout and you're kind of just, I don't want to be here, you don't look like you're into it, and you're just kind of there, I don't think a coach is going to put you on the team. If you look like you have the heart, like you do have a better shot. It just really depends on your overall attitude when you enter that room.
Would you say that it's really hard to make a travel team like competitively? I know there's probably only so many spots that are open on one of those teams, right?
It is, especially because even if you do have a lot of the skills and you get onto the team, you still have to break the barrier of these girls have all known each other for 5 years and they've all had this same connection, and you have to break that connection and insert yourself and then rebuild that connection, where it's definitely like harder. I think it's possible, but it's a whole new mindset. You have to be really open, and your teammates have to be very open to that idea of, okay, this is my new person. Let's bring them up. Let's get them on our level. Let's get them used to how we do it here.
If you're consistent at whatever it is that you do, and they see that you're willing to work with them and meet them halfway, they'll definitely keep you in mind. And even if you don't play, or even if they just have you sit down, they have something for you to do, and they know what they need you for, and they'll definitely use you when they're ready to use your skills.
Tryouts have to be intimidating, right?
They definitely are, and they can be. And if you don't know anyone, I think that for me as well, that was another thing that intimidated me because I'm homeschooled. But I think, being confident in your skills and knowing that you're able to do just as much that as the people who are there, and if they made it, or people who have less capacity than you can do it, then you definitely can.
How do you remember feeling the first time you walked into a tryout?
I wouldn't say nervous, but I think I was ready to live with whatever outcome was going to be. I think I remember it was 3 days of tryouts, and at the end, they just say your name, if you were cut or not. And I think that for me, just being able to understand that whether I made it or not was not a reflection of me as a player, but what the coaches were looking for. And understanding that those outcomes might not always be what I want them to be was what kind of helped me concentrate on whatever drill they had me do, or whatever drill and whatever pass or set I needed to do.
What would you say is the most intimidating and challenging part of a tryout?
I would say demonstrating yourself, with a limited time, because, maybe you're an amazing player, but you didn't show that in the tryout. And I think that having them watch you and being, I guess, having the time being right for you to do that is very important. And, if you maybe didn't get that pass, or maybe you didn't set right, they're definitely watching that as well. But remembering that you are in control of what you can do, and that you have control of that, I think that helps you a lot.
If they have like a pre-workout or something like that before the season, definitely go to that. They're looking for people to go to that so that they can analyze you before the tryout, because maybe you're nervous and just get like nervous during the tryout and don't do your best. Definitely go to the pre-workouts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that goes back to what we were saying earlier too. Even if you don't have the skills, it just shows that your heart's in it and you're passionate and you're serious about wanting to make the team.
I will say that, I don't know, personally, we don't make cuts here. Clearly, we're just a clinic. So all I really try to focus on is skills. But I feel like you could have the skill, but if you're shy, it ruins it. But at the same time, you could be loud, you could be out there, but skill, it goes hand in hand. Sometimes skill outshines shyness, and sometimes, like, your attitude outshines your skill. It just depends on the day.
I think that's a great point what you just said, because I know that for me, my shyness definitely comes in whenever I'm having touch with my teammates off the court. I think I had that a lot happen to me when I was at Charlotte, but when I was at Port Charlotte. But I think what really helped me was that they knew what I was doing, and that I had not only the experience, but I was willing to work with them and just willing to work with whatever position they wanted to put me in. I think that kind of helped me kind of have a better relationship with the team.
Being coachable too. You need to be coachable if you want to make the team.
If somebody's listening and they're interested in maybe taking the next step to a travel team, what does the commitment to that look like?
Going to practice every day, having your gears, being loud, showing that you want to be there, being dedicated, knowing your basic skills. Those are basically the things that you need.
I'd say being ready, always being there on time, not missing practices. Because if you miss practices, sometimes your coach is like, okay, well, she didn't miss any practices this week, so why would we put you on instead of her? So just being there and on time, and of course being loud at the same time.
I think that's a great point as well, but also working on yourself as a player. When you go to practice, it's very it's a group thing, and whether you have those skills or not, the coach is gonna look at it's going to look at you as a part of the team, not just you as a person. Of course, they're going to take time if they see you struggling. However, I think working on your skills outside of that court and just making sure that you're the best player that you can be is a good way to be prepared and for you to show what you actually have to give to the team.
For me, it's definitely the attitude that you have. You need to have the right attitude on the court. Say, like, you have a bad attitude at practice, the coach isn't going to put you on the court during the game if you have a bad attitude at practice. You definitely need to show that you want to be there and that you want to play on the court during games.
What do you think is the biggest takeaway from the Youth Volleyball Clinic that we offer here at Herald to your travel teams?
I think it's definitely a little more competitive at travel ball teams because there's not as many people learning still. But I think that travel ball is definitely more intense though.
All we're really here to do is say, all right, these are the skills. We can teach you all the skills. I can kind of give you guys an insight into like travel, like especially just travel team is a huge commitment, especially like sometimes girls go all the way to like Orlando from here just to go play in a tournament, right? Homework's still a thing, schoolwork is still a thing, so you have to look at yourself and your schedule and say, do I want to do this so bad that 3 a.m. homework is no longer a problem when at 9 o'clock the next day I gotta go run or I have to go do this or I have to do this. And I can give you all the tools so you can go play that, and I can help you as much as I can. Tiana can help you as much as I can. Your players here at the clinic will help you as much as they can with their own insight. But it really is just, do you have the passion and the drive to do what you can?
So what are some of the travel teams around here that people can try out for?
Flying Fish, Cape Coral, Miracle Team.
I didn't even know Cape Coral had a team.
Cape Coral has an A. They
There's-
go to Tennessee.
There's the
Yeah,
Jellies.
There's Jellies.
There's the Imagine team.
Yeah, the Imagine.
Imagine seems really good.
Port
Yeah.
Charlotte.
I mean, there's
Isn't
The
that
two-
a beach volleyball?
the two closest ones are Flying Fish.
And
I know they're
Miracle.
Miracle. Those are the two closest
Yeah.
ones. Flying Fish, the coaches do come from Charlotte High School, and Miracle, the coaches do come from Port Charlotte. I know Jellies is up in Venice, and they have teams. I think Riverview High School coaches have a few club teams. There's a lot. There's so many. You can look, and there's forums for you, and you can select your state, and you will pull up like 500 club teams, and you can just see what's in your area. Sometimes you do, like, if depending on where you live, you may have to travel 45 minutes away. Like I said, that all comes down to commitment again on how much you want.
Next, we have Lizzie's mother, Becky, here, who's going to share some insight on what her thoughts are on the program from the perspective of a parent. Becky, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi.
As a parent, what do you like about the youth volleyball program here at Harold Avenue Regional Park Recreation Center?
I like that it is fun for her. It's not a commitment, like she doesn't have to be here. And it's really, she made so many friends. Like that's the biggest thing for me. She's made a lot of friends here. They're all real close together. They have group chat going on. They have like FaceTime at like 9 o'clock at night on weekends after the clinics here. So it's fun for them.
That's awesome. It seems like it's created a really good culture here.
Yes.
Of players that as you grow together will be friends for a lifetime as you
Yes.
get into high school and try out for those teams, and it just creates this really good sense of community.
Yes.
One thing I like about here is how all the kids are very accepting of each other. Like if somebody doesn't know how to play, like other players will help them play and learn how to play.
Well, yeah, you're all coming to this clinic for a reason. Whether you want to brush up on your skills or you're brand new to the game or you just want to play a little extra before trying out for your travel team. Why did you decide to join?
I decided to join because I think I needed some extra help on my volleyball skills, definitely, because I was just a new player when I started. So I think that coming here definitely helped me on my skills, and I've gotten way better now.
That's wonderful. What kind of feedback have you gotten from Lizzie on the program?
It's all been great. Like she loves it here. And she's just learned so much. Like I said, she learned a lot just from Tiana and Ariana. and just she comes home and tells me everything that she's been learning. And I'm like, okay, and I don't know any of this stuff.
So you can see the passion when
Yes,
she talks and
for
when
sure.
she lives here. How do you think that this program helps promote a lifestyle of health and exercise?
So I definitely think it helps by like keeping you active and having like all the muscles that you need for volleyball. Definitely think it helps build that because you're learning still, so you have to train your muscles. So I think that definitely helps by training your muscles.
And you're learning what to expect on
Yeah.
a higher level team.
Yes.
You're here and you're conditioning your body and your skills to be able to try out for one of those travel ball teams.
Yes, and the few times I've stayed and watched her, because I have a 9-year-old, so I have to keep him entertained as well. But the few times I've stayed and watched her, when they do like the warm-ups and stuff, they make it fun. So it's not like, oh, I have to do this. They play games, they do, what's that one that you like lay down and you have to chase each other?
Logs. Yeah, we play logs. It's very fun.
That sounds like fun. I may have to come join you on a Friday or Saturday night. I've never played volleyball, so I think this might be a good place for me to start. What about, so the program as a whole, do you feel like it's helped Lizzie prepare for the next level of play?
Definitely. It's, like I said, she's just learning so much and then continuing on what she already knew. And just keeping that fresh, like the girls were saying earlier, just every week, 2 days a week, they come out and they're just out here having fun and learning and keeping it fresh.
And the atmosphere. Harold Avenue Regional Park Recreation Center is the hub of sports in Charlotte County.
Yes, for sure. It's definitely a great place to be. Paul always has a smile on his face. He's always great with the kids. Like I said earlier, I have a 9-year-old. They have a little Lego set here, and he comes, can I play with the Legos while she's practicing?
Oh, that's awesome.
He's built a few Lego creations. They keep it on the desk. It's a really like a family atmosphere here.
Absolutely. You feel like one big family
Yes.
when you walk through the doors of Harold.
Yes,
And
of course.
I'm glad that we've been able to translate that message to the parents and the community as well.
Yes.
Anything else that you want to add about the program?
I'm just glad that they do this because I grew up here, and growing up there wasn't a lot for us to do. So having this program is amazing.
So it's kind of come full circle for you.
Yes.
What would you want to tell other parents who are considering getting their kids involved in sports with our rec department?
Definitely do it. Like, it's something for them to do. It gets them out of the house. It's
Better than the mall.
It's better than the mall. It keeps them entertained and they're learning new skills. They're making friends. It's really great for them.
Well, you heard it here first. It's better than the mall. So come and join us on Friday and Saturday evenings for youth volleyball. And you can find more information online at charlottecountyfl.gov under recreation. We also have a Facebook page under Charlotte County Parks and Recreation. And we have an Instagram page under Charco Parks. Thank you both for being here today. This is the Community Services Connection podcast.